What's up guys, today we're going to be going over the Aeon exotics and be breaking down the new rework with all 3 different perks, be going over how good it is and what perks you should be using, and overall just the use cases of these exotics and when you should be using them. So let's go ahead and begin with the first perk, the Sect of Force. Rapid precision hits with a weapon temporarily increases your reload speed and weapon swap speed. So usually without this perk proc, our SMG takes 2.2 seconds to reload, which is quite a while, and the swap speed isn't anything too crazy. But now if we go ahead and get a few rapid precision hits, which is only like a handful, like 3 or 4, you will then get a perk called Aeon Weapon Haste for 6 full seconds, which is pretty long, and this buff will increase your reload speed and also your swap speed. So looking at the first reload speed increase, it's not going to be anything huge, going to 1.7 seconds now, which is going to be 22% quicker. Then on top of that, it will also be the swap speed. And now for the second part of the perk. When you stun a champion or defeat a boss/mini boss, your nearby fireteam members gain a burst of grenade and melee energy. So as you see, if we go ahead and throw our melee and our grenade, whenever Ember will kill the Lost Sector boss, we're going to get pretty much 50% of both of them instantly, and this is going to be based off your stat. So obviously the higher discipline or strength you have, the more you'll get, all the way up to roughly 50%. This will also work when you stun champions, which will happen all the time in ordeals. So this one is looking pretty strong as is. And on top of that, the final part of this perk, Aeon Cult allies who do not have the Sect of Force role equipped also gain a burst of super energy. So now if we do the same thing where we stun a champion, not only will we get 50% of her melee and also grenade, but we'll also get a decent chunk of her super, roughly like maybe 10% of it. So yeah, this one is pretty strong, and in ordeals, this will be happening all the time versus champions, killing champions, and also the like mini bosses and bosses along the way. Now for the second perk of the Sect of Insight, successive precision weapon takedowns have a chance to drop an orb of power for your allies. So if Ember puts this perk on and uses a weapon that is not masterworked, so the only way he'll be able to make orbs is from this perk, it was seeming like every 3rd precision kill it would create an orb of power. So I'm not quite sure if it's random or if it's pretty much every 3rd, but whenever it does happen, what is weird about it is they drop on the body. I was kind of like looking around like where are they, but it drops where the final blow actually is. Then the second part of this perk is when you use a finisher on an elite, you generate special ammo for your fire team. When you use a finisher on a boss or mini boss, you generate heavy ammo for your fire team. And obviously this one is extremely strong. It's pretty much built in special finisher and heavy finisher. Special finisher for normal majors, so just like the orange bars. Then versus champions, bosses, mini bosses, whenever you finish them, it'll create heavy for your entire fire team. And these boxes are similar to the amount of ammo you get from like a finder. So it's not gonna be like a huge ammo box, but still gonna be a good chunk of ammo for whatever you're using. And this also works if you pair it with special finisher, and you can create both ammo at once. And just to make sure if I wasn't very clear, the ammo from the exotic itself is not created for the user, only for the other 2 people. The final purpose one is whenever you do a finisher versus elite or boss or mini boss, you will also give nearby allies who have Aeon Souls equipped but not the Sect of Insight a boost to weapon damage. So how this works is if we shoot the shank without anything going on, we hit 3452. Now if we go ahead and let my fireteam member finish this major, which will drop special ammo for me, then also since I have Aeons on without the perk that he has, I also get a damage boost for 20 seconds, which will be a 35% increase. Yeah, so it's pretty much weapons of light for 20 seconds every single time you finish a major or higher tier enemy. And the thing about this is it does not stack with other buffs, which isn't surprising at all, but that still is a free weapons of light for 20 seconds that you can proc over and over again. And now moving on to the final perk of the Aeon Gauntlets, the Sect of Vigor. The first part, gain class ability energy as your allies die, gain full class ability energy when you resurrect an ally. So if I go ahead and put down my rift and wait for Ember to die, it's gonna take quite a while. Drugs are not very strong. And when he does die, I want to get like maybe 15-20% of my rift, which isn't nearly as much as the other perk. But now if I res them, I'll get the full charge instantly, which could be pretty cool for pretty much all the characters in GMs. Then the second part, when you cast your super, nearby allies gain an instant burst of healing. So once again, if I become weak and Ember will pop his super, it will instantly give me my full health bar back, so pretty much like proccing Devour, and it doesn't like continuously heal after that, it's just the full health bar back instantly. And the final part is if you're using Aeon but not the same perk, you will also get an Overshield. And how this Overshield works is it will last for 20 seconds and it will actually regen So that means as long as the blue doesn't disappear, it'll start recovering just like your normal health. So you pretty much just have a secondary health bar with this perk procced, and as long as you don't let it disappear, it'll keep regenerating for that 20 seconds. But the second that it goes away, you're just back to your normal health and the perk is over. So once again, that perk is extremely strong, and they pretty much nailed this exotic. It is so good. Like, I think all 3 perks are worthwhile, and I think the most optimal build for GMs will be one of each perk. One thing we did notice while doing this is every once in a while, you would get a damage boost to pop up that didn't have a timer. You might have seen this in a few clips, and we tested it, and it's not a damage increase in any way. I think it's just a visual bug or like the wrong string of text. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, in the most recent twab, there was a big section of like perks that were stating the wrong thing. So I think that is what's going on there. And whenever you see damage boost with no timer, it's not damage boost, it's just kind of like a glitch or something they need to fix. But overall, these 3 perks are amazing. I'll be making a video about the best GM loadout tomorrow, and that's why I want to make a video on this first. That way I wouldn't have to go over every single thing about this exotic in that video. But I can definitely see one of each of these perks being useful in that loadout. For example, you would pretty much want your div user to be using the first one because they'll be stunning champions left and right, and that'll be giving the other 2 Fireteam members a chunk of both their grenade and melee, and also a chunk of their super pretty much every single time, which means they'll have pretty much infinite abilities and also very quick supers. Then you'd want one person on the 3rd perk, and I think it would make the most sense on Warlock. That way they can pretty much have infinite rifts, which could be either healing or empowering. Then whenever they pop their super, they'll be giving their teammates full health and overshields. Then the 3rd person in your fire team would be using the 2nd one, which would make the most sense if it was a hunter, because they could go invis to finish a bunch of champions and give their other 2 teammates that 35% buff for 20 seconds and pretty much just chain that over and over again. Then as they finish those champions and majors, they'll also be creating ammo for their fire team. So overall in a fire team, one person using each perk makes a lot of sense, and this exotic is just crazy. Like, they actually nailed exactly what they were trying to go for with this exotic rework, and I just can't praise them enough for how good this is. And it's pretty much a must use in GMs and ordeals in general. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the video, just some gameplay left. Like I said, I'll be making a video going over the best ordeal and GM build tomorrow, and it will be using this exotic. Anyways, let me know what you think about the Aeon exotic rework. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.